Steve Cornelius. This is my wife Brigitte, and the farm is named FriedenHof Farm. You want to explain why it's FriedenHof?
It's FriedenHof because it's a peaceful place, except when the wind blows real hard. And since I'm come from Germany, that means peaceful place. So
when we moved here 10 years ago, no, it's more now, 12 years ago, we started out with a regular annual garden. But the idea from the very beginning was to eventually focus on perennial fruits and berries. The garden gave us product that we could take to the market right away that very first year. But over the last 10 years, and now especially in the last 3 or 4 years, we've moved away from annual products like tomatoes and peppers and that type of thing, and focus mainly on apples, peaches, apricots, plums, and berries. That's really kind of in keeping with what we wanted to do at the very beginning. But you don't get apples the first year. You got to put them in the ground and then have some patience and wait, and hopefully everything will turn out. And it has. We have 70 some apple trees here, mostly within this orchard, but some of it is outside. First investment of any significance was the deer fence. Everyone told us you're going to lose everything to the deer unless you put up your 8-foot deer fence, and so we did that. The posts will be here long after we're gone. I know that, but we haven't really had a deer problem, even on the trees that are outside.
oh yeah, they do rub their antlers
Well,
on them.
they'll rub their antlers in the fall. The bucks will, but as far as the kind of damage that you see from deer in Decorah, you don't see it. I think it's the satisfaction of seeing a tree or berry bushes actually producing like they say they can, and you see in the books, and because sometimes it doesn't always turn out that way. But the production side, most of our product is sold at farmers market. That's very enjoyable to have people come back again and ask, are you going to have those peaches again that you had last year? And I said, well, you never know, because it may be that they won't produce. We're not going to get apricots this year like we had a couple of years ago, and that's going to be a disappointment to some folks. But
Yeah, they didn't bloom.
yeah, they just simply didn't bloom. But there'll be good apples.
Well, when Steve retired, he wanted to come to Iowa, and we've always been gardening, even in Arizona where everything dried up like tobacco leaves. It was just crazy. So even in Chicago, we had a little garden that produced 500 pounds over the summer. He measured everything, and we could share there. And so when he came here, he just made it bigger, and it's a good place for us right now. As our son says, we're out to pasture. So we are.
That's awesome.
But I think you got an idea that, we've moved around a lot. And we've lived in Arizona and Missouri and Texas and Maryland and Illinois. And each of those places gave us an opportunity, to one degree or another, to put seeds in the ground and harvest. And it's really, Brigitte came from a farming family in Germany, and then later on in the U.S. And I worked on farms growing up in Iowa. So doing this after retirement is not exactly a surprise. We've gotten a lot of experience over the years doing this, and here was an opportunity on a relatively small piece of property, about 10 acres, to do some things in a larger way that we had been doing in previous places that we've lived. So the big difference, of course, is that it's not just trees and bushes, but ducks and geese and chickens, and we raised sheep until about 2 years ago when we got rid of the sheep. So incorporating animals into the farm production has been part of the objective that we've had from the beginning.
Fertilizer and just having fresh eggs. And yeah, we still have 3 sheep, but we kind of wanted them to have their old age here.
Well, one of the objectives we have here, beyond the production of fruits and berries and vegetables, is to see how well we can manage this small piece of property that's surrounded by conventional agriculture for wildlife and for nature.
And without pesticides.
And without pesticides.
Or herbicides.
I don't know if you noticed on the way in all of that plastic that's an attempt to get rid of the orchard grass prairie or pasture that we don't need anymore because we don't need the sheep, without applying Roundup or other types of herbicide. So we're going to see. It's an experiment. It started last spring, and it's knocked the orchard grass back, and then we'll eventually convert that to prairie. But we've done a pretty good job of documenting our impact on this small area. We've got a list of 125 birds that have been documented here, 21 mammals, even 4 amphibians, and a list of I think around 320 flowering plants that are on the property. So it's, we're doing something right. We're enjoying it, and we feel good about being able to produce and conserve.
Oh, come visit to the farmers market.
Come to the market. I mean, the market is successful. It's fun, both for vendors and for the clients. I mean, it's really interesting to notice how many people come to market. Yeah, they'll buy something, but they're not really there for that. They're there to see their neighbors,
socialize.
to see and to socialize. Yeah. And it's a wonderful place to do that throughout half of the year. And we just need to see more participation from the community.
Yeah, and you get healthy food to boot.
And you get healthy food.